That patch of reeds over there, it's a great place to hide something. Kind of out of the way, being so close to the water. You don't have a reason to. Yet. Nothing. Just a hunch. The hunch passes, leaving you there, by the old boy bobbing in the water. Time to go. Winter, slow to let go of Revachol. Flecks some more wet snow from above. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the rust-colored sewage runoff. And to think, it seemed as though it were already spring. The melting snow seeps through your thin clothes. Grandmothers don't let their grandchildren out dressed so lightly in this weather. At least your hair is protected from getting wet and sticking together. You look around. More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, salt water lapping at their dark piles, grey and red forgotten city blocks, what remains of the pre-revolutionary effort to gentrify the coast. The waters turn black, coal city in the shadow of Saint Martin, a boom town, back when coal extracted from countless shafts near the city was needed to power Revachol. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor and hydropower from the Esperance. Everything crumbled. These days, only the weakest remain in Coal City. Their hopes of getting rich linger in the defunct shafts under their feet. Below the old mines, L'Océan Municipal, Revachol's underground cemetery, Le Petit Rat braved the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royaume, where the Philippian kings were interred with their doctors and their admirals. Mausoleums, burial chambers, leaf gold still remains on the double door of the morning. Yes, to peel the gold off with his fingernails. Children under 14, they go underground looking for artifacts to sell to foreign museums, and for fabled relics. Their parents let them. They go deeper. After rubies, melchiorite, lapis lazuli, plundered from Safle and Seol during the time of the suzerain, in the burial chambers of the kings, Grand Old Philip, Guillaume II, and even in the mausoleum of Philip the Opulent. 2 kilometers underground, in a winding shaft along whose walls mirrors have been placed, so that daylight may eternally fall upon the richest of all the kings. The mausoleum contains untold quantities of gold, and that special, purest of the pure magenta cocaine, favored by Revacholian royalty. Did someone say untold quantities of cocaine? Drop everything immediately and go looking for this hoard. How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals to know. Few Petit Rat return from the shafts. Even fewer find what they're looking for. A small child steps out of the black tunnel with silver trinkets in her pockets. All around her, white snow on the extinguished coke furnaces and on the weather-worn shacks where fathers beat their sons after drinking. The snow melts on your fingers, turning to water. The canal you crossed to get here and beyond it. Martinez proper, the district the police forgot to police. There is laughter, lights, attempts at entrepreneurial activity, cynicism. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield at the roundabout, in the midst of which a statue of Philip III serves as a destination for grade school field trips and a fine perch for winter birds. Like all monuments, it's also a warning. 6-story ruins on the south side of the roundabout cast a long shadow over the profligate king. A fenced-off yard. There's a truck belonging to a logistics company parked next to the gate. Bright light from a building behind the fence reflects off its hood. Clean white light coming from the windows of a clean Q-shaped office building hidden amidst ruins. A secret. The abandoned church, its walls covered with hoarfrost now. One of Lissette's sœurs. The other 6 sisters were destroyed during the Revolution. A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunates on the run from the law, from themselves. Sometimes hide out on nearby islets. Little dots in the ocean that are occasionally submerged when the tide is high and the weather foul. The remains of a camp on a jagged piece of rock, a tent, old dishes and cutlery, long since abandoned. A hermit crab scuttles among the debris, looking for a new shell. Further out, the lights burn bright on Resurrection, way beyond Martinez. A popular spa destination for ample-bodied Ozon kids with equally ample pockets.
And on the other side of the inlet?
Then there's Ozon, but the snow falls too thick. You cannot see that far.
Or that? Where the curtains are drawn?
The Bay of Revachol. Vastness, great depth, over 1,200 meters at its deepest. Water, air-brinier than here. It is crisscrossed by huge cargo ships bearing company logos. Wild pines, Zam, Mauryan, and at the farthest reaches of the Bay of Revachol, the shadow of the coalition warship Archer, on perpetual patrol duty, ready to unleash artillery fire if you were to rise up against the market. You shudder.
What's in the
The
south?
raised motorway, 881, separating Martinez from Jamrock. Vehicles whoosh past one another day and night, while those who reside in the labyrinthine alleyways beneath the motorway attempt to carry on with their lives in the snow and the slush. And south of the 881 is the Pox.
The Pox?
Was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation for the patients of the old military hospital. In the 20s, it was used as a quarantine center during a measles outbreak that killed many children. Most everyone has avoided the hospital and surrounding park ever since. The Pox is completely wild now. Evergreen thickets covered in snow and industrial dust. Feral dogs and even wolves roaming in packs. The police try to keep the deepest corners cordoned off.
So,
Heavy drug users do slip through and hole up in the old military hospital, hoping to find something to get high on among the hastily abandoned supplies, or just to overdose in peace.
further
A
south?
line of motor garages with armored carapaces hunched in the cold. A mechanic is hard at work, patching up bullet holes in the side of a Capri 40. These are the garages of Precinct 41. Snow settles on the roof of the repurposed silk mill. It serves as your station. Shivering RCM personnel hurry in and out of the main entrance. Around you, the snow continues to fall. To the west, the ocean swells.
No, it was home. I want more.
The stairs descend to central Jamrock. A man named Cooklove has a snow-covered stall there in the market across the bridge. He sells kebab infested with fly larvae to your colleagues who believe eating it will make them immune to food poisoning.
Oh,
Snow
gross.
falls on the utility district, the library, the florist, the Sarah Mauritian restaurant that offers homemade wine, and also on the brothels and drug dens and the chop shops of the Zemliaki. All of this built around a lake that formed in a meteorite strike. At the center of this lake, there is a little ship. There are lights at the bottom of its hull. They are lights directed toward the seafloor, looking for something, like whiskers.
For what?
A chill comes over you, crawling down your back. The sand under your feet is wet. Somewhere in the south, tarpaulin flap in the wind.
Okay. Where's Ruby?
Near, snow falls into dark water. She prays, though she doesn't believe. There is a hum in the air. That's all.
It's below me.
Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Rats scuttle.
Tell me a secret of the sands, Wind.
Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows?
Stomp your feet for warmth, brushing off the snow.
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up.
Okay. Is this up by the... Yeah, this is up by where we found the body. We call this N?
A metal payphone under a yellow... You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
Okay, put in 10 cents and dial a random number. Okay.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre? Is that you, Pierre?
The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. No, this is not Pierre.
Any news about Pierre?
Who is
He's
Pierre?
my sister's grandson. He used to visit me as a lad. Fine young man. But who are you, then? A salesman of some sort? Modern goods are rubbish, and I can't afford them anyhow. It's a shame what you did to our country.
I don't know who I am, but who are
I
you?
was a baroness.
Pause. There is silence on the other end.
You won't get me, and you won't get my money.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Okay. Is it the same number? Fuck it.
Calling. Still calling. Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Hello, Gerard. Technically speaking, you're electricity.
Is electricity there? I need to speak with electricity,
No.
please.
But I got a feeling I'll kick your ass is gonna make an appearance if you ever call this number again. Have a good one, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man.
Someone picks up. The voice on the other end is slightly
I'll get you
hysterical.
your money, alright?
I just need till tonight. Let me work.
You seem to be in some sort of trouble. Maybe I can help you. I'm a
The
police
phone
officer.
gets hanged up fast as lightning. All you hear is a little shuffle of nylon as the hand moves on the other end. Disconnect tone.
Lets you know that the lieutenant is ready to move now. Okay, well, one more time, buddy. No?
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling.
I'm tired.
The man answers fast this time. His voice is hoarse from cigarettes. You hear typing in the background.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
I'm
I
tired
could go
too.
just 1 month without writing. No, 2 months. I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you, the call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying.
Dial a random number with your eyes closed.
You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up, and repeat the motion twice. Strange. This is not how you started before.
Wait, what did I just do?
You dialed 001. This is not the area code of Revachol. It is another destination on another Isola. Some far-off nation-state. 005 is Revachol, ZOC. 001 is Grad, on the Gradian Isola, where the telephone was invented. The next 2 digits you dial are the area code for the city of Mirova. 414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air.
Keep dialing.
1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling.
There's
Yes.
more?
451-67451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones calling in the night. The saddest sound in the world. Both pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse rising with each ring. Calling still. Ringing by the bedside of a dark but capacious apartment with long windows. You know this to be true. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy.
Long windows. How do I know
Just
that?
do. And you know it is going to hurt. The
Em?
lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows.
Let it calm more.
Calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
She sounds sleepy. Hello. She hums, her voice warm from sleep. Who's this?
Dora, who is this? The connection is bad.
Dora. The name feels like a gift. A gift that was meant for you, to make it possible to live and fight. In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle. Don't react. Whatever you do, don't react to that last thing.
Don't react.
It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
I want to die. Takes a second for her to realize what you just said. I want to live with
Oh
you.
no. Is that you?
Her voice sounds like she's waking up now. Still plaintive. Tired.
This is too much. You need to recede.
A creature is a creature. I wish I was the wind.
Oh no, not this. What time is it?
Your voice is so
Oh
beautiful.
no. It's you, isn't it? It's you.
I'm a revolutionary servant of humanity. I will free mankind and abolish the classes. I will
You're
raise
not
the
a
dead.
revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
I'm not drunk or high. I'm just hurt. Why does it hurt to talk to
Oh
you?
God.
There's silence. It's heavy as tin. The white noise howls.
Do you
Hey.
know what time it is? It's so late here.
Sounds like she's looking for a clock on the
It's 4
nightstand.
o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours.
Where are you going in 2 hours?
To work. The
Where?
academy, where I work.
The academy? That sounds better than my job. I'm
No
happy.
response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper. What are you doing to yourself right now?
I don't know. I don't understand what's
You need
happening.
to stop. Harry, you're killing yourself.
You're in Morova, right?
Yes, I'm in Morova. Sleeping.
I want to talk about me. Who am I? You sound like
What
you
do you
know
want
me.
to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Do you want to party?
No. I want to go to sleep.
I am law. I'm a detective. I'm doing a case. There's
She
Hangman.
does not answer anymore.
It doesn't matter. This case doesn't
Harry.
matter.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. Run to the church, home, anywhere but here. Anything but calling her again.
No, we're gonna do it.
You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. The machine eats the coin, and a terrifying ocean of distance rustles in your ear. In the middle of it, a familiar ring. Small, distorted. Calling, calling. Put it down. Before it's too late, please.
Let her
Calling,
call.
calling, 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 calling. It looks like she doesn't want to pick it up, Harry. Stop scaring her.
Just let it ring.
Calling.
Harry, please.
A sad voice answers. dressed in
Underneath
sort
it,
of-
she is naked and warm under a blanket.
You're
There's
warm.
a sigh.
There was someone there before. I heard someone. Who's there with you?
She does not answer. All you hear is hiss.
I need answers to my mystery.
Please. I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Well, we'll leave well enough alone. I forget where all these traps are that we're supposed to be picking up. I guess we should check the church to see if people have set up here before we leave. It looks like they have.
Yeah, it's all set up, man. Can you already imagine 1,000 people in here? 10,000!
He waves his hands in an unbelievably lame, non-hardcore
It's
manner.
static vibrations, totally transcendent. And I've finished setting up the new compressor too.
He looks up at the opposing black box in the corner that's churning out the
Now the only thing
sound.
left to do is the name of the club. Will you do the honours, detective?
What do you propose as the name,
The
Andre?
name. Everything I managed to come up with sounds just wrong.
He appears to mull it over, one hand idly touching his
Andre's
hair.
overthinking it.
Says the girl with the mic.
You should do it, detective. It would be good for the signs.
Speed freak with yellow beads around his neck is looking at
Lloyd's
you.
right. You've helped us so much. It's the right thing to do.
Sal, what would you suggest?
How about something simple? Like the club?
Too modern and too ironic. We don't want ironic. We want real. Real and true and beautiful. Like a morning after the rave.
Egghead, you must have a lot of ideas.
Yakokata! Yakokata! The place to be!
Freak with the large head yells from the stage, waving his hand in
Yeko
the air.
Qatar, the zone of ecological catastrophe. That's too morbid, Egg. Got anything else?
Hardcore! Hardcore to the nigger!
A witless, victorious smile adorns his
No,
face.
it has to be bigger than hardcore. Yes, it has to be even bigger than hardcore to the mega. It has to be bigger than the scene.
Noid, give me your 2 cents.
The amnesia.
Like the...
Oh.
I can't remember the name of the club, Amnesia.
Amnesia! It's not amnesia, guys.
Suna, do you have an opinion?
I don't.
Good.
Oh.
We have too many opinions anyway.
Kim, how would you name
I
the
wouldn't.
club?
I wouldn't build a club, and I wouldn't name it either.
An underground
Okay,
place with
well,
no
you're no
name.
fun.
Sounds like something the Crabman would say.
We're not going with anything the Crabman would say.
Why not? The Crabman has ideas, Estelle. Ideas from another level of consciousness.
I don't care. I don't like the Crabman, and I don't like his ideas. His ideas are spooky. Next, please.
Alright, I think I've come
You
up
have?
with a name.
Well, what's the name?
Could we go that meta? No truce with the Furies. Let's call it Disco
Like
Elysium.
that DeLorean word for the world, you mean? Elysium.
But Disco Elysium? Isn't it wacky? Disco's kind of gone, isn't it? Forgotten.
The past is the future, but the future is dead. No, it's beautiful. Beautiful and brave, like we want it to be. And short. And memorable.
It's settled then. Everyone welcome to Disco Elysium.
A light beam washes over the dance floor, bathing it in
The
violet
wind
blue.
brings some snow in from the broken gallery. It wraps you in its embrace, cold and luminous. You should return to the mural soon, to the one that said, tomorrow is just a whisper away.
Okay, where the fuck was that
Andre
again?
breaks into frenzied dance-like motion to celebrate the name. Someone turns up the beat. You should go with the flow. Join in on the experience.
Start tapping your
It
foot.
feels good. It feels right. But what is this? What is this thing that Andre is doing with his limbs?
Observe his movement. What are you doing, Andre?
I'm dancing.
He performs yet another strange pattern of moves, but it doesn't look very cool or modern. Honestly, it looks kind
That
of lame.
soft core gyrating is supposed to be dancing?
We should talk about it. We should talk about your so-called
Yes,
dancing.
my man.
He jumps up and down with glee, his moves punctuated by the stroboscopic flash of the club lights.
Talk? What is there to talk about if you can express yourself with moves? Audio waves thump against your ribcage. The speaker setup makes everything sound much better. But there's a noticeable lack of something.
I mean to ask you, what's with the hair?
It's to express my individuality.
Is that a bald spot? It's hard to tell for sure, with the fused together spikes, but it looks like he's balding.
Or is it because you're
Well,
balding?
because I'm balding, yes. I want to fuse the remains of my hair together before it leaves me. I want to show my hair. I don't give a fuck how old you think I am. I'm 20,
How old are you, Andre?
not 20.
Is it important for you to be an individual?
Of course it is. Otherwise, I'd just be another poor guy with no education and no money. General issue, man. Now I'm all that, and I have radical spikes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Maybe it was a bad idea. Anyway,
Alright, well, this isn't good. Don't have a very good chance of this, huh? Sure it's gonna go well.
You close your eyes and dream of the shapes your body should form to bring this strange music into life. For now, such ferocity of motion is beyond you.
But just imagine the moves you could pull to this futuristic beat.
Puts a grin on your face just to think about it. Even a failed attempt gets the juices flowing and repairs some of the damage done by battles lost. If you up the dose and truly dance, who knows what will happen? Salvation.
Who knows indeed.
goodbye, officer.
That's it for now. Okay, let's see what Suna has to say.
Yes, what is it?
How's the project going? I see that your neighbors have moved in, but all I hear is anodic dance music.
What? What did you say?
She leans closer, eyes knitted together in a puzzled expression. You can barely hear her over the thumping bass of anodic dance music. I said, how's the project going?
I can't hear you! The music is too loud!
She shouts, pointing at the enormous speaker that's churning out the sound. The project, how's it going?
Oh, the project! It's not going well!
Her face lights up for a second before she gives you an exaggerated head
There's
shake.
that
Why?
guy! I need him to plug a 3.5 cable into the auxiliary input so that I can route the audio signal through the mixer into the speakers.
She points to Egghead, who's raving behind his turntables on a brightly lit stage. Why don't you just ask him?
He doesn't listen to me! He only ever seems to care about hardcore and Yekokata! A place to be, apparently!
Okay, I'll speak to him and see what I can
Thanks! Maybe you can get through his magic rhymes!
do. She does jazz hands to mock
You
him.
know how it goes!
Alright. Egghead.
Italian church, the place to be! Make some noise, my church people!
Large speakers are set up behind the young man, blasting a familiar song.
Vibrations thump through your blue soul. The music sounds much better in the church. A hawthorn tree on Rue de Saint-Gislain, tangled in its branches, something bronze flutters in the wind. He stands on stage behind a table, nodding along to the music.
I really
and
need to find
waving
that
his
record in
hand
that
the
tree.
air. In front of him, the audio mixer, one reel spinning. The other reel deck is empty. Cables run hither and thither. On one side you see an auxiliary line in, with the number 4.5 written next to it.
Hey, can you please route Suna's signal through your speakers?
To the mega! Yeah! I can route it through auxiliary! What kind of a cable does she use? 3.5 or 4.5?
It's 3.5, no doubt about it. It's on the ground.
She uses 3.5. Yeah. The auxiliary lining is 4.5 millimeter. These two don't mix.
Oh no, we're going to be in this church forever.
Lieutenant closes his
Don't
eyes.
worry, I have an adapter for it right here.
He searches for the cable on the ground and picks it up, looking
Hang
at
on.
the jack.
This is a 4.5. We're all good, people!
With a grin, he sticks the plug into the auxiliary line in. You hear a satisfying
Whoa,
click.
thank God. Adapters noticeably degrade the sound quality.
Great! Someone got through to him. Okay, let's get it all set up. Can we turn the music off, please?
Egg, the music?
Everybody! Don't panic! I'm going to turn off the on-off for just a sec. For a special scheduled event.
The young man shouts as he clicks the switch on the
The
mixer.
on-off will be back! But we're doing something else for one moment. Alright, go tell her that Egghead is ready to rave to her tunes. And then I'll turn off the music.
How do you like it in the church, Egghead?
Back on the case! No disgrace! Bring it down to party place!
He pumps his fists in the
The
air.
first page of the second chapter!
His voice echoes all around the grand
Could it
hall.
be? Maybe for him, you only have a chapter or two left in you. Last of the penultimate, more like.
Jeez. It's uplifting.
Yes, what is it?
She doesn't look up from the keyboard. Alright, I talked to Egghead. He plugged in the cable. You can now unmute your speakers.
Okay, but think you can ask him to turn the volume down a bit? Just in case.
She seems hesitant, her eyes still fixed on Egghead. Shouts Egghead, a great smile still adorning his face, larger than a red dwarf star.
Is the only way!
I know it is, but could you please turn it down just this instance? Just this one time? Maximum is not the only way, okay?
Pump it to the brick! Pump it to the hard master! There's no other way! Glue style!
Glue style? Okay, there literally is no other way. The mixing desk is glued to maximum.
See? He pumps it to the hard master. It's hopeless.
I think what Egghead is trying to say here is that the volume button is stuck on maximum.
Of course it is.
She shrugs, consigned to her fate.
Yeah! Permanent enlightenment! Ray of sound!
Never mind then. Let's get on with our project. I'm going to unmute the speakers on a count of 5. Everyone ready?
She looks around the
Egghead
church.
pumps his hand up in the air, waiting for the beat to drop.
Born ready.
Says
Ready.
Andre.
I'm
Yells
ready if you
annoyed.
two are detectives.
The lieutenant nods stoically. Suddenly, your palms are sweaty. The church seems cold and large, somehow. There's tightness in your chest. Anxiety.
Hold on a moment.
What?
Never mind, let's do it. I'm
5,
ready.
4, 3, 2, 1. Mute disengaged.
She lifts her hand from the keyboard. Complete silence fills the
No
room.
wind outside, no waves, no floorboards creaking. Total, continuous silence. This is unnatural. The woman looks around. In the silence, you see dust move on the floorboards. The driver of the speaker vibrates in the air and then stops. Plasterwork begins to crumble down the walls. In the silence, a low hum starts creeping up your spine. It's a song inside you, not in the speakers, not in the room. A great bass sigh in the basement of your mind. Slowly, it builds until the air around you starts to vibrate. It's out there now, in the world, made manifest. It will devour everything. The floorboards, the glass, the streets and the people. Nothing will remain.
Guys, what's going on?
There's alarm in the man's voice as he steps back to scan the surroundings. A slight rattle like crystal clattering covered fills the air, joining the chorus.
It's getting louder.
Says Noid, his eyes riveted on the strange circle of water basins.
In the basins, the water looks like it's boiling.
Hosiana! Mother of Mega!
You hear Egghead yell, then something else, but his voice is growing
In
faint.
his mind, a tidal wave approaching from afar, swallowing entire coastlines on its way. Salvation. He's peaking, the worst high he's ever been on.
What's that weird rattling sound?
The beauty and the beat! The future of dance! Planetary!
No, Egg! It's the window!
Glass shards around Dolores Day's vacant heart appear to be vibrating from the sound. It almost looks like she's alive.
In the corner of your eye, the lieutenant steps aside, cautiously, his eyes searching for a possible evacuation route.
The window is going to come down. No, the roof!
She looks up, a screech fills the air, a scream of wooden nails. Pillars of the church twist and creak above and around
Cracks
you.
appear on the stained glass window. Cracks run up the wooden pillars in the dark.
Come down to earth! Love!
Below it, all the bass grows, like the jaws of a giant compressor gnawing on metal and wood. It does not sound benevolent at all.
What is
It's
happening?
shaking the building's foundation. The floor twists.
That's it. I'm muting it.
She reaches for the keyboard. We should stop, yeah.
Shit.
Mute it.
It doesn't stop. A seal? Have you?
The woman is furiously pressing down on her keyboard. The sound doesn't stop.
I've turned it off!
She yells, holding the contact
Andre,
mic in her
pull the
hand.
compressor! The place is gonna come down!
Fuck! I can't shut it up. The signal's passed. It's not in here. It's...
Andre frantically
In the
smashes
motion
buttons.
disk now, building into a positive feedback loop. This is it. A great roar. The vault of the roof twists above you. Glass shatters somewhere near the door. It's coming down.
Egghead, it's in the
And
desk.
then it stops. Totally and utterly. As if there never was a sound. Only your ears still ring from the shock. Everybody is staring at Egghead, holding a dangling cable in his hand. A black 3-pin connector.
Egg.
I pulled the plug. It was getting too hardcore.
He says
You
calmly.
did good, Egg. Most of the place seems to be intact. Fucking hell. Programmer lady, tell me you were recording that.
Andre breathes a sigh of relief and inspects the window.
4 years. 22 people. Millions of reals. All that time? This is what we were up against. Just erased it. Suliswolf isn't gonna believe this.
Yeah, but did you record it though? It was dope. I think we can use it.
Yes, Andre. I recorded it. Damn, I need to send some letters now.
She composes herself, wipes the dust off her sweater, and rests her hands on the
Thank
keyboard.
you all for doing this. Eggman, you too. And you, officer. I don't know what we've discovered, but I know what it sounds like now. That's a start.
Kim, did you hear
It
that?
was very hard not to. I think you're right. There is something going on here. And you need to be very careful with it.
He turns to
I
the woman.
promise, officer. We will not play it again.
What was that? I've never heard anything like it.
It was mathematical information from the anomaly, presented as a waveform. That's what it was technically. Theoretically,
She shakes
I
her
have
head.
no idea. I've never even heard of anything like this.
A voice seems muffled in the silent church. It's your ears adjusting after the exposure.
You're going to write Sulislav?
Yes, our lead designer. And maybe some of the producers too. And some of the writers. If they're sober enough to open a transmission. They need to hear.
That it wasn't her fault. Or theirs.
They need to hear about this. Don't worry, I won't send the recording. Although I doubt they have the speakers to produce the frequency anyway.
What happens now? Are you going
Stay
to...
here! I'm going to stay here with these lunatics. Send letters, maybe meet Suliswolf. Also devise further measurements.
She cuts you off, her deft fingers already on the
I
keyboard.
want you to know that's totally chill with us.
I don't care, but thank you anyway.
That's the best she can manage for Andre. It's quite a lot in truth. For her, at least.
Now, I have a theory to come up with. Some kind of preliminary explanation to all this. Or the letter will sound like I've lost my mind.
Yes, and we have to get back to stabilizing Martinez. Instead of demolishing it with loud bass noise of unknown origins.
Some tiny hard thing lets go in your stomach. You're still alive.
Yeah, no, things got fucking scary there for a second.
You have an explanation for all this. Somewhere deep in you, you know. The person you were knows.
Okay, form a theory.
You don't have to. You already have. A long time ago.
Wait, how?
These thoughts formed in you somewhere. In a long forgotten discussion. Behind a kitchen table. In the evening light. Drinking coffee and smoking. With a friend. And a woman. She was there too. Her hair smelled of shampoo as she was smoking.
Suna, it's the origin point of the pail.
What?
The swallow. It's how it starts. It's baby Pale.
But Pale isn't here. We're thousands of kilometers from the edge.
She looks up, and there's fear in her eyes as she considers the possibility.
That comforts her.
No, look up first. We are 20 meters from the very edge.
She looks up into the darkness under the nave, then back at you.
The pail is only an effect, a transition between the world and that.
Then what is that?
It's nothing. No, it's less than nothing. No.
It's less than nothing. The final rest state for reality. Imagine if all of this never was.
Then the Pale is...
Simply a gradient.
But the gradient, it clearly hasn't started yet. We're here, and the Pale is not.
One day, when it's larger, it will
I
be.
understand. A theory of the Pale where instead of an outer ocean, it metastasizes. Like a cancer or a mold. Erupting in points inside the world.
This is one of those places.
According to this, how long?
She's silent for a second, and then she opens her mouth. Until it starts swallowing? It's already started, starting with sound.
And information. Causing data losses in the East Insulindian front. Have you considered why it's formed in a church? And also when or how it might start growing, or if it has other effects in addition to sound and data?
An intellectual hunger fills her now, casting fear aside.
I also have a question, since we are piling them on. How do you know this? I'm not doubting you. I'm simply curious as to how a detective of the RCM
knows how to think this.
Fair enough. All the failed businesses in the Doom commercial area, all the failure in
You
Martinez.
think the presence of that puncture has somehow influenced the outcome of events here? Even say software development?
She already made up her mind when she heard it. Some kind of great and uncaring force had to play a part. It wasn't only them.
Yeah, even the revolution was defeated here. I mean, kind of entrepreneuric history.
I told the producers we need to go and move to a normal office building with amenities. But no, the artists like the milieu, the writers like the history. I told them.
No, it's better. I should let people still working in there know about this. They might be affected.
You mean Plaisance and the Dice Maker? There was almost no one left when we packed up.
Yeah, both of them deserve to know.
Then go tell them.
Didn't form at a church, though. The church formed around it.
Of course! A pine wood sarcophagus. Or a containment facility of some kind. Built by the first settlers.
Yeah, acting on an instinctual level, or religious practices we've forgotten.
I have considered the same. The bad news is, there were 7 pinewood churches built in the first decade of provincial settlement. Most of them were burnt down during the revolution, or repurposed before, during the suzerain. I'm not saying all of them have one in them, but...
Some of them might. A black grain hanging in the air.
I think I've had this thought before. That's how I know.
An amateur anthropomedic police officer. I'd like to say I've heard stranger things, but I'm not sure. This is a hell of a guess, however. Well worded, I might add.
Yes, it is very interesting. But I wouldn't say you know. This is a guess. One that's going to have to be proved by anthroponetic scientists.
One day all the world will be like that 2mm hole.
She falls silent. The wind blows in through the hole in the stained glass window. Cold and moist.
I'm going to leave that out. But the rest? Some of this I can use to start to explain this to the rest of the team. Maybe I'll sound mad, but...
Man, you will certainly sound mad.
One more thing. Maybe a club for anodic music isn't the worst thing you can erect around this particular point in space.
Yeah, that's still insane, but then again, so am I.
Yeah! Once the light is on in the universe, it will never go out!
Thank you, Egghead. Let's leave it at that, shall we? We have an anthroponetic detection to perform in this district.
I do have one mystery that still needs solving. The radio ghost. The doomed commercial area's electronic
The
doorbell.
creepy woman! We were wondering about that when we worked there, but I had completely forgotten about it ever since. It must be anthroponetic crosstalk, the one you get in radios and long-distance calls. Now it makes sense, with the pale right on the doorstep.
Incredible. This would also explain why we get it on the police radio all the time.
Intraplanetic
It's
crosstalk?
quite common, actually. When the signal gets routed through Pale, all kinds of irregularities take place. You may hear snippets of someone else's conversation, or the voice of your former lover, or an echo of an event that took place 100 years ago. Pale is a shroud of memories, and it doesn't really distinguish to whom those memories belong to. You could hear anything.
That makes sense. Thanks for explaining that to me.
Anytime.
Okay. Bye-bye.
You got us in, cop. I can't believe you got us in.
He looks around the hall, examining the
With
carpentry.
wonder in his sharp eyes.
Between you and me, I don't know if you've noticed this about me. I'm a little suspicious of authority. But you really came through for the hardcore underground.
Yes, you really came through for the hardcore underground. How come?
He spreads his arm, looking around at the speed freaks setting up shop.
Andre is busy cutting some slightly less lame, but still quite ungainly shapes on the church floor, sweating profusely. Estelle using her contact mic to listen to a tree underwater. The one with the large head is blasting the dance track on repeat, while the stained glass window behind him is rattling from the bass.
I did it for mankind. For all of mankind.
Okay.
Lieutenant keeps it laconic.
I don't believe you actually think you did it for all mankind, but whatever keeps you in high spirits is okay by him.
Noid, what do you think about the
It's
church?
a miracle of carpentry. Dead bodies carved into total shapes. Now it could be something more.
He rubs his hands together. How old do you think this church is? Over 300
That's
years?
right. The first settlers built it, plus 6 more like it, on the coast here. Was one of the first things they did. Must have been really scared of something, but I understand. Alone on an uninhabited archipelago, forced to face themselves and nature. Pre-industrial quantities of solitude. The sea, perhaps something more fundamental.
He needs something paranatural. He must...
I would want to build a safe place for myself and my own as well.
His voice echoes in the wooden cavern of the church. Something more fundamental? You mean the sound anomaly?
Maybe they were unable to face the nature of the world, perishing.
What style is the church built
A
in?
cop who's into building critique. Okay then, this is folk DeLoreanism, lawmonger, huh? It's a subset of early DeLorean architecture.
Okay, and what is DeLorean architecture like?
Total. Everything between an ancient concrete cathedral and a glass cube is DeLoreanism. This is just an homespun version of it. Folksy stuff. Early mass production. They made thousands like this. Does that help you out?
What would a DeLorean building look like?
Like that woman there. Vertical, thin, white. A false image of grandeur. The source of the system is up there. You're at the bottom. They really dug that power vertical. Like to show off large and intricate structures. Arches, spires. Put you down with them. They were really into painting everything white too. Virginal shit, you know. Married shit. Virtue and tyranny.
This church isn't painted white as far as I can
Stands to
tell.
reason it used to be white on the outside. Before the sea wind took all the paint off.
Year after year, flake after flake, whitewashed clean, then covered in green moss, slowly peeled by the wind. Your skin crawls from the sensation as you look around.
What do you mean by dead bodies?
Dead bodies are perennial plants. Sigma functions have left this place. It's a good thing we came along. The spiritual collapse has been total.
Spiritual collapse?
I saw some piglets suckling their dead mother. Have you heard this one, Copman? After a short while, they shuddered and went away. They had sensed that she could no longer see them, and that she wasn't like them anymore. What they loved in their mother weren't her body, but whatever it was that made her body live. End of quote. This is an high-quality carcass. The power of anodic beats and hard bass is needed to reanimate it.
First, where is that quote from?
Sarai's man, who lived a long time ago, an ancient hardcore brother.
You're saying as you're not a big fan of the Enocentric system?
A 3,000-year-old tyrannical regime of history, built and maintained by hundreds of generations of self-appointed intellectuals. It's false core.
And you propose dance music will supplant the system.
Anodic dance music. Regular dance music wasn't hard enough. And yes, I do.
You know what this kind of stuff goes well with.
Don't you have to be on drugs for that,
Only a
though?
little. It's a
Ooh.
necessity. All large human gatherings are narcotic. It's just a way of the spinal cord.
There is a difference between narcotics and group elation. One kills you, the other does not.
The supercharged humanism that the Enocentric system has been feeding us on giant city squares, that's not a drug. The sugar and wheat it feeds us is healthy.
Forget it. It will become an imbecilic discussion. You two continue. It's more hardcore that way.
He does not feel left out. In fact, he probably just wanted to say hardcore.
How do you like the glasswork?
I don't. Fuck her giving me the evil eye.
I'm getting some real negative vibes from her
No
too.
wonder. We have to get rid of it. Dismantle it. Can't dance with a giant mass murderer looking at ya. Not a good look for the club.
Mellow, man, mellow. No one's a mass murderer. This is a house of love.
Mass murder on the floor!
Yeah, but like, who isn't accused of being a mass murderer these days?
No one says Arno van Eyck is a mass murderer. The anodic pioneer Rietveld is not a mass murderer. He is not accused of mass murder. Likewise, no one says Jermaine Egghead or Andre are mass murderers. You can live entirely outside that suspicion. Billions of people go about not being guilty of mass murder. Just not her.
I do feel like there is something terrifying about
There
her.
is. She is a party repellent and must be taken down before we can begin partying in here.
No, that's not it. It's something more. Something closer to your skin.
Say nothing, just stare grimly into the
The speed
distance.
freak looks the same way. It is dark there in the back of the church. For a moment, the music echoes strangely.
Isn't she supposed to be an embodiment of the world
World
spirit?
spirit does not have a body. It has organs. Hardcore is an organ of the world spirit.
He raises
This
his left
Arno
hand.
van Eyck track is an organ. The carpentry and glass cutting that built this house are also organs. She's a thief, if you ask me. An organ thief. All innocences are.
Did you say she was, you know, human?
I like this question, Cop Man. She did not live the life of a human. She lived like someone who's playing a game. The life of an operator. That's not the life that humans live. She was adored. Humans aren't. I don't know about you, but they hate me. And they do not think I'm innocent or some shit like that.
Yeah, they hate this too.
They loved her. They put all their love in her and forgot all about the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm done talking about her. I don't want to think about her anymore.
What a strange choice of words. Caustic, overflowing with negativity. That can't be healthy. What's happening here? Why do you keep coming back to this window?
It's a nice window.
Why do you keep saying that if it isn't making you feel well? Don't come back to this anymore. Stop talking about that damn window.
Let's talk about the glass
The
work
mass
again.
murderer. Why?
Never mind.
Okay.
Are you settling
Hard
in?
to say, cop man. Signs in here are distinctly wild. Gonna take a while before everything's properly synced. I did get to talk to the crab man though.
You mean Tiago?
Anyway, he's been giving me kind of a psychic rundown of this place. Dude's seen some crazy shit, but he's actually a lot like us.
You mean all this mother's love stuff isn't too spooky for
Have
you?
you been listening to what Egg's been saying? Love is hardcore, man. And the mother's love is the hardest core of all. The man picks up on stuff, and he knows a lot about the church. I got a lot to learn from him. Good thing you didn't squash him.
What did Tiago tell you about the
The
church?
crabman's been lurking here for a while. He's experienced things that give off bad signs. As far as we can tell, the Ubies built this place about 320 years ago as a sarcophagus.
You mean there are dead bodies here?
Not like a literal sarcophagus. I'm just being metaphorical.
What's it for?
Encasement, confinement of something they were afraid of. Something new and unheard of on the Isla. I think that's what the crabman is experiencing when he climbs around upstairs. Like, this is some old world shit the Ubies had heard about. I thought the best way to deal with it was to build a church surrounding it to contain it.
Alright, sounds like a job for the remote viewers
Doubt
division.
it. I don't even think the Ubies properly understood it. What it does. But it's what this Sona person is looking for and trying to measure. It'll be fruitless though. She won't be able to measure it. People like that always want to measure everything. All those things they really can't.
The wood creaks as a gale blows by. Outside, dust particles fall through the darkness, settling down on the age-bleached floorboards. The structure does not feel particularly durable.
This building seems less than structurally sound.
No, it's pretty fucking unsound if you ask me. They should have built a club for anodic music around it instead.
He
Anodic
grins.
music will definitely contain whatever we're dealing with. And if it can't, well,
What makes you think Suna's gonna
seems
fail?
to be the trend around here, doesn't it? You can't measure shit like this. It's not like substance.
We found a doomed commercial area in Martinez proper. Maybe it's the same thing the Ubis were trying to
Like
contain.
a concentric ring spreading out. The struggling villages. And that is what caused the communards to fail in defending the beachhead. Yeah, a lot of failure has gone down around here.
The think there's any merit to this theory?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It's not a thing we can answer, Cop Man. Even I have limits. I'm a limited psi person.
Well, if it's without substance, I guess there's nothing to worry about.
Maybe you can figure things out, Cop Man. I think we got on a good level here. The signs are syncing up well.
Alright, why are you so suspicious about everything?
Suspicious people are esoteric people. We don't go around spilling everything to Johnny Law. They don't call me Noid for nothing. It took us setting out for this whole enterprise to get our signs synced.
Why are you called Noid
It's
anyway?
short for paranoid.
Oh, duh. May I ask why? What good is being
A
suspicious?
reasonable question. Say I get hurt. I want to make sure it never happens again. So I analyse the situation. Exercise caution. Caution is suspicion.
What are you suspicious of?
It'd be easier to list stuff I'm not suspicious of. I'm not suspicious of sound and colour. Mechanics and chemistry also have a trueness about them. Most anything else deceives. Wants to steal your life away.
This is a good, dangerous line of questioning. You should prod him on.
And what are the most suspicious things?
I don't have a top 10 list of things I'm most suspicious of, but if I had one,
Really?
the left-right complex
Watch
would be
Mojo
number
style,
one.
please.
Number 2 would be their sole accomplishment, the pig-wheat paradigm.
Something is off here. You feel like it should be the other way around.
Does this mean that you are mentally
Mental
ill?
illness is a term the powers use to homogenise people. I think I don't reach mental illness. I am merely politically ill, a suspicious element.
Don't you mean the left-right paradigm and the pig-wheat complex?
Politics is an inert complex of daily corruption and inane think pieces. The real paradigm is economic, and it concerns pig and wheat. This is where the innovation happens. It's only a theory. I suspect they're breeding a pig-wheat hybrid. Probably in Grad.
Oh. Tell me more about the left-right
I prefer
business.
not to. Both ask the wrong questions. Any spark of light from either one is accidental. Their combined movement's only concern is producing enough pig and wheat for everyone. The end goal of humanity. The original mistake was assuming that words have more being than bodies. That's what led us astray. Far from our true lives, but we may yet find a way back.
Whatever this true life is, you feel it's the real centerpiece of this mythology.
What's suspicious about the production of pork and wheat?
It's our only shit. We should make better use of not being animals or cereal grain ourselves.
What's bad about cereal grain? Having enough food could be a precursor for greater things.
Yes, having food is means to an end, but the left never talks about the end, only the means. Caps are likewise suckers, constantly sleepless in worry. It's our only shit.
What's bad about
We should
animals?
make
Animals
better-
are cute.
Nothing. Animals are cool, guys. I like animals too, but that doesn't mean I have to be one myself.
Well, that was certainly stimulating. I want to ask you about something
His
else now.
eyes flicker.
You mentioned true life. What would that be like?
The life is true if it's free from fear, an internal division among oneself. And others, mankind has seeds of greatness in it. A germinal will come, a return to trueness. It will be hardcore.
How would you go about returning to this true life?
Beats and bright lights to shatter falsehoods. Nerve impulses for the collective body. We are very much alike in basic structure. An hard enough beat would awaken everyone to a truer calling. In unity.
Sorry.
Just like that. The speed freak is right in your face, his eyes burning. His comrades look on worriedly. The young man is dead serious about this. Rejection of the right-left axis, emphasis on unity, appreciation of some primordial mode of being. What does that remind you of?
Sort of like fascism then.
Nationalism, militarism, racism, and emphasis on a leader character are totally absent in hardcore.
But shouldn't the ones that are... Okay. Fair enough, I just making an observation.
He picks up a wrench and scratches his head with it, unaroused by fascism.
So you're advocating a noise-based society?
Many non-Occidental cultures share a beat at their heart. Thus, they are closer to true, hardcore life. There's just never been enough of them, and they had to rely on some extremely basic percussion.
Okay, you keep mentioning hardcore. What does that mean to
Utmost
you?
dedication. Thoughts from the spinal cord. It's a potent superlative as well.
The term also signifies certain varieties of pornography that depict penetration, just so you know.
Okay, that's good of you to throw that out
usually
there.
has a better concept of the hardcore. He just really likes saying hardcore. Hardcore!
His friend shouts from behind the mixed table, with a smile surpassing your own in wideness, a total moon face and eyes full of naive wonderment. The term hardcore also denotes a strain of pornography that depicts penetration. Did you know that?
That's a pretty hardcore coincidence, don't you think?
Yeah!
Hardcore.
Oh yeah, sure thing.
What's with the clothes?
They're hardcore. They're just
What's that?
clothes.
Are they? They look outlandish.
Nah, these are just boring, normal, hardcore clothes. That's outlandish.
What's so outlandish about it?
It looks like you're trying to hang yourself with it. So large, too. So many different patterns. It's crazy, man. I like it.
You suddenly realize the patience and respect this speed freak has shown you is partly because of your style. He's probably not like that with everyone.
Oh yeah?
Respect to the man!
Okay, well... let's try to internalize the hardcore aesthetic, I guess.
Aggressive, monotonous, but also somehow sacred, primitive, yet futuristic, like a machine man. Nothing exists but the here and now. All are one purpose. All you've managed is a list. The parts don't form a whole.
Alright, take care, Noid. Okay, I hate to be that guy, but there are other things that I need to get to today. And the way that this game is, whenever we start conversations, you never really know how long things are gonna be. And I hate, like, cutting things off in the middle of things, or, like, rushing through things. So I'm just gonna be smart and call it right now. I am gonna be back on tonight. We're gonna be jumping back into Evil Within, trying to finish up that chapter 10. It was pretty brutal last night, so hopefully I do better. Yeah, well, we'll try to finish up chapter 10 and hopefully get through at least chapter 11 tonight. I won't be hopping back on until like 11 o'clock, sometime around then, maybe a little bit afterwards. Next time we'll do Disco Elysium will probably be Sunday evening sometime if I have time. And then Friday, FromSoft Fridays with Elden Ring, and then Saturday, Souls-like Saturday with Lies of P. And then tomorrow night's gonna be Evil Within as well. But if there's anybody hanging out, lurking, thanks for hanging out. Hope you have an awesome day. Thanks for being here. Maybe I'll see you around sometime. Alright, this has been A Boy Named Sue, coming at you live straight from Big Potato. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Oh, and if you need somebody to watch, I was trying to think what I was trying to say here at the end. But if you need anybody to watch after I end here, check out the recommended people on my channel. They're all really good, really nice people, and they're actually professional streamers. Some of them aren't professional, but they're all real streamers, unlike me. They're more professional than me, at the very least. So yeah, I'll see you around.